This is a sports catastrophe production.
Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe welcoming you to a special sports catastrophe video because of the lack of on the stage stuff again, which sucks. Third time in 4 days, I can't really do that video. So I decided to do a placeholder video. This video is talking about Euro 2020. Yes, I know we're in 2021, but remember, this tournament was held was going to be held last year until COVID ruined it and ruined a lot of sporting events, including the Olympics. So anyway, I'll give you a rundown of the 2020 Euros and basically who's in the tournament, and then I'll give some historical context to the Euros. So anyway, first and foremost, let's talk about the teams who are in Euro 2020. They'll still call it 2020 even though it's in 2021. Group A seems to be a decent group. You have Turkey, Italy, Wales, and Switzerland. Historically, Turkey made a massive come through in the 2008 Euros, if memory serves me right. But basically, a lot of people question if Turkey should be an Asian nation because part of Turkey is in Asia, kind of like Russia. But anyway, they're a European nation. Italy is by far the giant favorite and all that because Italian soccer is like massive. Wales has had a few decent Euro campaigns, even last time, taking England to the limit. But Wales actually went to the semifinals, shocking Belgium in the quarterfinals on Canada Day 2016, which was amazing. And then Switzerland, they're a pretty good team. They're more of a defensive squad, but they've pulled some offensive crap. So anyway, that's Group A. Group B sees Denmark, Finland, Belgium, and Russia. So Denmark will play all their group stage games at home. Now, I'll explain about that later. But anyway, Denmark, 1992, everyone remembers, or should remember, that Euro 92 was plagued by the fact that Yugoslavia was supposed to be in the European Championships when it was an 8-team competition, not a 2014 competition like it is now. But because of their own civil war, basically, Yugoslavia was banished from Europe. The second place team in their qualifying group, Denmark, was given only 10 days to prepare for Euros. And somehow, in some way, thanks to Jan Janssen, the Laudrup brothers, Michael and Brian, and my favorite Man U goalie of all time, Peter Schmeichel, Denmark shocked Germany to win the tournament. So they're a champion. Finland is not known for soccer. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. Finland's more of a hockey or bandy team. But anyway, it's weird seeing Finland at a tournament, a major tournament for the first time I think ever. I don't think they've ever been to a World Cup, and I don't think they've ever been to Euro. So anyway, Finland's one of the two debutantes in Euro. Next up is Belgium in Group B. Belgium is basically the team that's number one in the FIFA rankings coming into this tournament, and basically their golden generation has one more golden chance, if you will, to win the tournament. Belgium should have done well, but Wales shocked them in the quarterfinals. And Belgium did have a good 2018 World Cup, winning third place. So yeah, I guess I don't really talk about the World Cup as much when I talk about stuff and all that. But anyway, yeah. And you got Russia, who hosted the World Cup 2018 and did pretty well. They shocked Spain in the round of 16 in a penalty shootout. But I forget who was it. Belgium who knocked them out? Can't remember. But anyway, Russia is in. Russia is happy as can be. They got a good soccer team and all that. I mean, with I don't know if they have Akinfeev. It's still in that, but he's good. Group C sees Holland, Ukraine, Austria, and North Macedonia. Holland, as we know, or the Netherlands, as some people call it. I call it Holland sometimes. Basically, are a powerhouse. 1988, they won Euro over the Soviet Union thanks to Marco van Basten's volley, which was iconic. The Dutch shocked a lot of people by not even making the World Cup last time. But they didn't even make Euro last time, if memory serves me right. So basically, the Dutch are back. They're heavy favorites. Then you got Ukraine, who basically are known as a pretty good team. Shevchenko has retired. I know that because he was the star for the 2006 World Cup squad. But anyway, Ukraine always plays good defense. Austria, well, Austria to me, not really a good soccer team and all that. I know that they had some decent games in the 70s and 80s in the World Cup and all that, but I just can't see Austria as a good soccer team. And then you got North Macedonia, the newcomers, the country that didn't even exist like 20 years ago. But anyway, it's weird having them in. It's weird that there's a North Macedonia and all that, and a South Macedonia. It's kind of confusing because I know Macedonia was a team that almost went to Euros, if memory serves me right, once. But anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting to see the debutants deal with it. It's wide open after Holland, in my mind. Group B, I think it's Belgium and Russia, and Group A is basically Italy and maybe Wales. Group D sees my country of origin. Well, not really of origin, but of national pride. England be in the tournament. England hosted the 96 Euros and should have been in the final, but they lost to Germany on penalties. Same old story about penalties. Ironically, England beat Spain in the quarterfinals of Euro 96 on penalties. So anyway, England's Euros have been bad, especially after losing to Iceland in the 2016 round of 16, which ticked me off. However, it was for the best because France would have probably walloped us in the quarterfinals. But still, we made quarters. I got to go with England. They're my nationality in a sense. Well, my dad's side, RIP, is English. And that's why my last name is Diamond. My mom's side is part German, part American. But anyway, yeah. Next up in Group D is Croatia, who basically have done pretty well. They're coming off a finals appearance at the 2018 World Cup when they lost to France. We'll get to France later. But anyway, Croatia seems to be a very powerful team, and England will want revenge for Croatia beating them in the semis at the World Cup. I know I would. And then comes Scotland. People are like, Scotland? Are you real? Scotland? Yep. Scotland's back in a major tournament for the first time since the 98 World Cup. They have never been to a World Cup after 98 and not been to Euro since 96. So, man, it'll be huge. England versus Scotland. That will be the second game. England has to play Croatia first, kind of a revenge thing. Then they got to play their old enemy, Scotland. And then they got to play third, the Czech Republic. That's right, the Czech Republic. The 96 champions, the 96 runners-up at the Euros in England. They lost to Germany on a golden goal by Oliver Bierhoff. The Czechs don't have Peter Cech, C-E-C-H, who I did in a birthday boy thing. But basically, they're pretty good and all that. So yeah, so it's going to probably be England and Croatia, the top two teams. Group E sees Spain be the heavy favorites. Spain is the only nation to win back-to-back Euros, that being 2008 and 2012. So basically, they're a powerhouse and all that. I know Iker Casillas, I don't think it's in that anymore, but he's an icon. But Spain doesn't even have, who did they say? Sergio Ramos is not even on that team, which is kind of pathetic, don't you think? Anyway, Sweden is next in Group E. Sweden, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And I don't think Zlatan's on the squad for Sweden at Euro, but basically he brought Swedish soccer to a standstill, especially with his antics over in America, MLS. Poland, that's my sister-in-law's team because, my sister-in-law's family came over from Poland. Well, my sister-in-law was born in Canada, but you know what I mean. But the Polska Eagle and all that. If Lewandowski can basically score goals like he did for Bayern Munich this year, I think Poland may have a chance for second. And also, Slovakia. As Slovakia will be the fourth team in. I know everyone says it's a hockey nation and all that. I agree. But Slovakia in 2010 made a massive win over, what, did they beat Italy in the 2010 World Cup? I can't remember. But anyway, yeah, they pulled themselves into a round of 16 match. Or was that Slovenia? Whatever. So I say Spain and Poland who will be top two in Group E. Group F has Hungary joining the F1 position. Surprise, it's Hungary. But anyway, Hungary. You know, everyone remembers the magical Magyars or whatever they called. You know, winning a game at Wembley in 1953, shocking the world and all that. Nearly winning the 54 World Cup, but West Germany got them. And, you know, they had their revolutions and all that. They're basically bloodshed stuff made Puskas leave Hungary. They went to the 2016 World Cup. I think they got burned by Portugal or something. No, that's Albania. Anyway, the next team in Group F is Portugal. And Portugal, basically, the champions of 2016, to my great disdain, because, you know, I had a hatred of Portugal because of what CR7 did to England in the 2006 World Cup with that fucking wink. All that. Now, this is the first tournament since 2006 that I don't have a grudge against Portugal, or not supposed to have a grudge against Portugal, because after England got to the semifinals at the World Cup and Portugal didn't even get, I think Portugal got to the quarters and lost. I can't remember. But anyway, I vowed to have my hatred towards Portugal be destroyed. Like, Portugal, I think, might go back to back. I don't see it. I like CR7, he's good, but I don't think Portugal can go back to back. I mean, there are a lot of teams gunning for Portugal, and, you know, Group F is dangerous. Because, guess who else is in Group F? That's right, France. The French national team will be in this thing. France and Portugal. Man, can you believe it? They'll have a rematch. I think the 23rd. June 23rd, they'll have the rematch. Portugal-France. The 2016 Euro final is now a round-robin game. And fourth in Group F is the wartime man, Deutschland, aka Germany. So Group F is the Groupe de la Mort, the group of death. Now, Hungary did pull off a few shockers in 2016, so they might be an X factor. But Portugal, France, and Germany, man, can you believe it? Now, contrary to popular belief, it's not the top two. It's not just the top two teams from each group will get in. Oh, no. Because this is a 24-team event, like 2 times 6 is 12. What are you going to do? Like, what can you do to set up a playoff? But anyway, they decided to have the top two teams in each group and the 4 best third-place teams from each of the groups, A, B, C, D, E, F, to move on. So that's 16. So, basically, if you're third place, point totals matter, and that will get you through. Portugal kind of cheated their way through with that system, with 3 deadly draws and actually getting in ahead of Albania, who won. I know my buddy Rob Barziger was angry at that, and I agree with him that Albania won a game, Portugal didn't, and Portugal stupidly used that to win the title. But what can you do? So anyway, so it's the top 2 teams from each group, and then the 4 best third place teams meet in the round of 16, and then quarters, semis, finals, whatever. So this actually is not the first time this format has happened. Well, not at Euros, because that happened in 2016 when it was also 24 teams. But back in the 1980s, there was World Cups with 24 teams in it. I believe it was 82, 86, 90, and 94 until they moved it up to 32 teams for 98. But basically, yeah, they did that format with the third place teams and all that. But there's also one major thing that you should know about Euro 2020 is that they're going to be playing their group stage and many other in different countries. It's not just one country hosting, which normally happens. Like, you know, France hosted all the matches in 2016, but in 2020, it's different countries. So Group A will have games in Rome and Baku, aka Azerbaijan. Wow. Group B will be St. Petersburg, Russia, and Copenhagen. Group C is Amsterdam and Bucharest. Oh, Italy and Azerbaijan, Group A. B is Russia and Denmark. C is Holland and Romania. Group D, London and Glasgow. England and Scotland. Group E was supposed to be Bilbao and Dublin. Bilbao in Spain, Dublin in Ireland. But because of COVID restrictions, Ireland could not do anything about the crowds. So they basically pulled out St. Petersburg at the last second decided to add more games and all that. So it's Seville and St. Petersburg. Group B. Group F will be Munich and Budapest, or Germany and Hungary. It's funny how France will play Portugal in Germany, all that. So anyway, round of 16 matches will be in London. Okay, I gotta go to the official playoff thing because so the bracket will have 8 different cities will have round of 16 games. Seville, London, Bucharest, Copenhagen, Glasgow, London, Budapest, and Amsterdam. Meanwhile, the quarters will be in Munich, St. Petersburg, Rome, and Baku, that being Azerbaijan. The semis and finals are all at Wembley, the new Wembley, if it mess up. So, man, that would be great. I just wish I could have gone to England to watch like a semis or a final. But, COVID ruins you. Anyway. So, So, for me, Group D is England, Croatia, Scotland, Czech, right? So, Group D is my group with England. If they win the group, they will play the runner-up in Group F. Oh, crap. There is a possibility if Portugal ends up second in Group F, then it's England, Portugal in the round 16. Oh, boy. Or if Portugal wins the group, it'll be the runner-up. It'll be France or Germany. So basically, England might have to face Portugal, France, or Germany in the round 16. Yikes. If they take second in Group D, they'll take on the runner-up in Group E. And I think that's a better matchup, that being in Copenhagen. But I know England's not going to try to tank on purpose. To be the best, you have to beat the best. And if they end up in third place, then they basically have a few options. But yeah, so England's up against it. If they win Group D, they're doomed to face the runner-up in Group F. And that's the group of death with Portugal, France, and Germany, and Hungary for that matter, too. So it's going to be interesting. European Championships. I'm not going to make predictions quite yet. I'll probably do that in a future video before the championship starts on June 11th. So watch out for that. Watch out, baby. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adu.